his never does.
That's right.
And that's why I'm going to keep pushing forward. I am going to fight my fight. I am going to run. I'm not going to give up because he's with me. And because it's not about me any longer. When I stepped into this thing, I made a decision. You made a choice. If you know him, if you said, this is my Lord, you made a choice to pick up your cross. To pick up your cross. This guy, Joel Osteen's father, had a dream one time. And in the dream, he had this big cross. He wasn't carrying it yet, but he saw the cross. And he was scared, man, like this thing is big. But he realized that when he picked up the cross actually lifted him up. What God is asking you to do isn't too heavy. His presence makes it possible. He's present with you. And again, he's not going to leave. He's not going to give up. So my first main point, is get alone with God. Get alone with him. You need to get alone with him. You need to have that time alone where he can heal you. Because he wants to use you. He wants to so much. But you need to get alone. And if you need that healing, you know who I'm talking to. So don't be afraid of getting alone because he's with you. He's not going to leave, even if everybody else does. My next point, the presence of God empowers. Somebody say empowers.
Empowers.
Isaiah 60. Arise, shine, for your light is come. For the glory of the Lord is risen upon you. See, darkness covers the earth, and deep darkness covers the people. But the Lord rises upon you, and his glory appears over you. Nations will come to your light. Somebody say nations.
Nations.
Nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your dawn. There is something so powerful inside of you that people are just going to be attracted to it. And that's also what that prophet told me. The first one who gave me that prophecy. He said a holy attraction is going to come upon you. There's going to be something inside of you that people just want. And honestly, ever since that season ended, I see that in my workplace. It's so much easier. It just flows. Because if you expect to be rejected by people, they'll agree with you. I remember when I first got the job, I was like, I'm not qualified to do this. I'm waiting for them to fire me. I hope I get a month in so I can save a little bit of money for school. But that day never came because there's something inside of me that people want. And it's not just me. It's all of us. Acts chapter 2. When the Spirit was given at Pentecost, like a rushing mighty wind, they were praying, they were seeking the Lord, they were fasting, all good stuff. The Spirit is given by grace. Never make it a works thing. Afterwards, Peter gets up, preaches the first real gospel message. 3,000 people get saved. As opposed to when the law was given, 3,000 people died. The law kills, the Spirit gives life. When the Spirit was given, life was given. People wanted that. In Joshua 1:9, have I not commanded you, be strong and courageous? Do not tremble or be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Especially if you can't feel him. He's empowering you through his presence. I had this experience. It was crazy. It was over a year ago now. Right after I preached here, my friend Janice, she invited me to speak at a family member's wake. I was like, no one really speaks at wakes, but okay. And so I went, and it turned out she couldn't even be there. Okay? So this was not awkward at all. Not even a little bit. And I'm there with my buddy Nick, one of my roommates. And I'm going in there. I have a suit on. I thought it was going to be more formal. It didn't happen to be that. No one gave me the dress code beforehand. So I'm in there with a suit. All these people, this is in the hood. It's in the hood, so got to make a note of that. I'm in there. I'm waiting with Nick for 2 hours. And they're distraught. Understandably, the guy was like my age who passed away. He was young and it was tragic. And I'm like, Nick, we're leaving. We're leaving. This is bad. Not staying here. Nothing good is happening. I'm going. And he's like, this is so Nick too. It's like, okay, just chill. Just wait a second. See what God does. Nathan knows. And so, a few minutes later, Janice's sister comes into the room. And she finally talks to someone, and I get a chance to speak. And I'm in front of this I'm in front of his casket, right in front of his whole family, like 100 people, all of them really loud, no microphone. So I'm just standing there, and they're like, this guy, who none of us really know, wants to give a word of encouragement. And I'm like, oh, this is so Jesus. I love every moment of this because I know he's going to show up. I know when I put him in a position where he has to show up, he's going to show up because he promises to. Sometimes we're so afraid to put ourselves in the position that we never see him show up. So I got up and I preached the gospel. I had notes. My notes went out the window. I drop kicked them. I never saw them again. I had 10 minutes and I used every one of those minutes, every second, to make these people feel loved, to let them know that there's something better. They don't have to go through this cycle like everyone else has gone through. And then I didn't know what happened. I led people through the prayer of salvation. I couldn't see or hear anything. That's kind of how it is. All of you right now are a blur. I don't see anybody. Nothing. It's just me and Jesus right now. We're just having a conversation. You happen to be here. And afterwards, I'm talking to Nick. We just left. Because every time I preach, I'll probably do it right now after I'm done. I run out. It's just, that's what I feel. I usually want to run away. And I'm sorry I mentioned that immediately. And so, I asked Nick what happened. And he's like, man, I think there's angels behind you. I'm like, what does that mean? What? He's like, man, so many people said that prayer with you. Now it's like, wow. And then this was kind of weird. You might think this is funny. It kind of got my attention. I'm driving down the street, and on Broad Street, you can't make a left. I forgot. So I'm stuck in this lane that's not really a lane. And there's this car that's in front of me, and it has like 5511 on it. And immediately, 5511, I see the word that the Lord speaks, it will never return to him void. It will always accomplish exactly what he sets it out to do. Mission accomplished. That's what the presence of God can do in you. Someone say, he's in me.
He's in me.
He's in me.
He's in me.
Come on, man. Ezekiel chapter 36. The days are coming. Those days are coming when I will put my spirit within you, cause you to obey my statutes.